In this video we go through things you might not know from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Did you know Noah's Exo-Suit wasn't originally going to show his face? In the behind the scenes special feature Final Conflict, Gary Brozanich, the visual effects supervisor for Rise of the Beasts, explains that Noah's Exo-Suit wasn't originally going to show his face, and instead the suit was mostly going to be computer generated, with the inclusion of a visor. Director Steven Caple Jr notes that his introduction into Transformers was the 1986 Transformers the movie, where human character Daniel wore an exosuit. This inspired the director to bring the exosuit to his live action film, and he was keen to keep the suit true to its 1986 design. Here's Gary Brozanich explaining the design process behind Noah's exosuit.
The initial approach to the exosuit was that Anthony was meant to have a visor down, and so he was going to be largely computer generated. Some of that was for ease of shooting, some of it was for time management with Anthony, but Steven threw it out there that he really wanted to be able to see Anthony's face, which changed the landscape for how we approach shooting it a lot. We've all seen these kinds of effects before, and you can very quickly lose the humanity behind a CG suit. We get Anthony's face, we get his performance. It extended the shooting period that we needed to do it with him, but it meant that what you're seeing is the real guy doing the real thing.
Did you know Cade Yeager is referenced in Rise of the Beasts? When travelling to obtain the transwarp key, Noah is trying to process his understanding of Transformers. Noah describes everything he's been told as super weird, to which Mirage replies, "You know what's weird? Marky Mark is leaving the Funky Bunch." Marky Mark, of course, is a reference to Mark Wahlberg, who went on to be Cade Yeager, a down-on-his-luck inventor and one of the main protagonists in Transformers Age of Extinction and The Last Knight. Here is the complete reference to Marky Mark, spoken by Mirage.
"You know what's weird? Marky Mark is leaving the Funky Bunch. I heard he's just gonna pursue acting now. That's crazy."
What? How does that even...
What a world.
Whatever, man.
Did you know the arrival of Scourge and the Terrorcons is not the same from the trailers to the movie? In the official trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, if you look behind the 1994 text and under the Brooklyn Bridge, you can see Terrorcons Scourge, Battletrap and Nightbird travelling to obtain the transwarp key. In the trailer, the three project a green light. In the movie and during the entire scene, the green light is gone, and the Terrorcons are represented by a red light instead. The reasoning behind the difference from the trailer to the movie has yet to be explained, but usually these types of changes are made to throw the audience off. The trailer would make it seem that another Transformers tribe is heading towards the key. It's worth noting this scene has changed multiple times, with the teaser trailer showing no Terrorcons at all, the official trailer with the green light, and then the movie with the red light. Did you know Michael Bay gave tips to Steven Caple Jr when passing the torch for Rise of the Beasts? Former director Michael Bay was a producer for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, with the movie falling under the production of Bay Films. In the behind the scenes special feature Into the Jungle, Bay reveals how much input he had in the 7th movie, and his relationship with Steven Caple Jr.
It's the first time physically meeting Steven. Talk to him over Zoom, try to pass on a lot of tips because it's a war doing these movies.
Fan of franchise forever. Of course, what this guy has done and had take it to a new level. And so for me to be a part of this franchise and you passing over the torch.
That's right,
No pressure at all.
Did you know the G.I Joes captured the ship of Terrorcon Scourge? During the post-credits of Rise of the Beasts, Noah is introduced to Agent Burke of the G.I Joe. Burke wants to recruit Noah to join the team. When Agent Burke opens the hangar and gives Noah his calling card, if you look to the side of Burke, you'll see the recovered ship of Terrorcon Scourge. We don't see the ship close up when it lands in New York, with the Terrorcons crash landing in the East River of Brooklyn, but if we compare the ship in the hangar to the one that crash lands in the opening scene, we find that it's the same ship that belonged to Scourge. Did you know the characters of Sonic are referenced multiple times in Rise of the Beasts? With Rise of the Beast taking place in 1994, there are many 90s nostalgic references. One that runs through the entire movie is the reference of Sonic. Noah and Chris used the characters of the 90s video game as codenames when speaking across the airwaves. Noah is Sonic, Chris is Tails, and later Mirage becomes Knuckles. What's interesting about this reference is not only does it purpose the 90s, but Paramount, the distributor of Transformers movies, also distributes Sonic films.
Yo, Sonic, breakfast ready yet?
I ain't your butler, Chris.
Come on, man. No name's over the airways. It's Tails.
Did you know Steven Caple Jr. used Fight Club's Tyler Durden to build the character of Mirage? In the behind the scenes special feature Heroes, visual effects supervisor Gary Brosnich notes Steven Caple Jr. referencing Fight Club's Tyler Durden to help describe the personality of Mirage. Here's Brosnich recalling that conversation.
Mirage was the first character that I ever spoke to Steven about. The first thing that Steven referred me to was the Tyler Durden character from Fight Club. Slightly schizophrenic, you never know what he's gonna say. He's probably gonna say something inappropriate, but he's really kind of a nice guy.
Did you know the Predacons are in Rise of the Beasts? In Transformers Rise of the Beasts, 3 tribes are mentioned by name: the Autobots, the Maximals, and the Terrorcons, but the Predacons, the natural enemy of the Beasts, also feature in this movie. Many fans will obviously note the inclusion of Scorponok, but in the behind the scenes special feature Villains, it's made clear that besides Scourge, Battletrap and Nightbird, along with Sweeps, Freezer and Novocaine, all other bots in the final battle are Predacons. So there you have it, those were some things you might not know about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learnt something new. If you did, why not drop a like on the video and leave us a comment about any interesting facts or secrets that you might know about the live action franchise.